ay 25 years dahil nagtrabaho po siya sa London at Hong Kong. At siya po ang in charge sa macro aspects ng pension fund, pati na dito sa investment ng GSIS. Narito po panoorin natin ang panayam namin sa kanya. Sa ilalim ng bagong liderato ng GSIS, ang mga katagang transparency at service-orientedness ang nagsilbing balangkas ng pagbabago tugo sa mas pinagbuting serbisyo ng Government Service Insurance System. Isa ang tinig at paniniwala ng Board of Trustees at ng liderato ng GSIS na sa pagtupad ng mga pagbabagong kailangan ng 1.7 million members at pensioners ng GSIS, kailangan maging consultative at member-focused tungo sa mas mabilis at responsive service. Sa araw na ito, mapalad nating mga kasama ang isa sa tinaguriang architect behind the new reforms of the GSIS. We're proud to have with us GSIS President and General Manager Robert G. Vergara. Magandang araw po sa inyo.
Good morning.
Madalas pong mabanggit ang pagiging transparent ng inyong liderato bukod pa sa pagiging consultative and service-focused. What are the specific initiatives that you and GSIS Board have undertaken toward these goals?
Well, it's been about a year and 7 months now since I was appointed to this position. And in that time, the board and management have really made a few changes. One of the first things we did, this is the re-engagement with the Land Bank of the Philippines as servicing agent for GSIS transactions, was really a response to the concerns raised by our members and our stakeholders that we don't have enough access points for them for banking transactions with our current panel of service providers. I think we have Union Bank and the PNB. We felt that by re-engaging with the Land Bank of the Philippines, mas malaki kasi yung kanilang network sa bansa. That will allow our members, give them greater convenience whenever they want to transact with GSIS. On top of that, we added more kiosks. So the board resolved to deploy over 750 more kiosks all over the country. That supplements our already existing 500 kiosks. So by putting many of these kiosks in more strategic locations in the provincial capitals, in all the DepEd regional offices, and DepEd is very important here because DepEd comprises over 43% of our 1.7 million members. We want to bring our services closer to our members. So that was one of the, I think, major initiatives that we undertook. A few policy changes that we implemented was the relaxation of the more strict eligibility requirements for the survivorship pension. I think there was a change in the past where if you were a surviving spouse, but you were earning an income that was at the level of the salary grade 1, step 1 of the government pay scale, you were not eligible to receive a surviving pension from your deceased spouse's service in government. We felt that that was rather inappropriate. The board feels that pension benefits are not privileges, but they are rights earned by your spouse. So they should go with you whether or not you're earning any income. In fact, this is the only policy change that we implemented which had a retroactive effect. Most of the changes we've made have always been prospective in application. This one, we are actually going to allow our members who were deprived of their pensions or whose applications during the period when this more restrictive policy was in place to reapply and receive the benefits that they are entitled to.
Okay, can you tell us where is the GSIS now in terms of addressing the challenge of inaccurate members' records, and what are you doing to fast-track reconciliation of member accounts?
Yeah, this has been an ongoing issue. In fact, it's something that the chairman and I and the board inherited when we took over, and this has to do with the flawed transition to the new computer system, which has led to a lot of payments not being posted to the correct accounts, or in fact some loan balances not being correctly reflected in people's accounts. We're now at a level of processing where 97 to 98% of all payments we receive every month are going to the correct accounts. The 2% we are able to resolve within a very reasonable period of time. So the processing capability of GSIS is now quite efficient. The problem we have is the backlog of unposted payments. And we are attacking that problem. We have several task forces now which are looking at several different aspects of it. We have one group looking at primarily premiums, and we have one group looking at loans. The report yesterday from both groups and the sub-task forces which are assigned to handle different aspects of the problem are very promising. I think we are gearing ourselves up for a fourth quarter submission to all our members of a statement of account which will include all of their transactions, and we'd like to ask them to validate that account and sign off on it so that we can finally close the door on this particular issue. So I think many members will see already that their accounts, at least the more recent transactions, are being correctly captured. And that's why the focus now is really trying to sort out the backlog of unposted accounts, which built up over a period of 5 or 6 years. And that one is a bit more difficult. We really have to go in and look at both automated and manual ways to resolve. But we're getting there. I think we're through the hump. And like I said, I'm optimistic that in the next 3 to 4 months, we'll be able to come up with a statement of accounts for our members, which will contain all, we hope, all the transactions. And if they find anything there that is missing, then we will sit down with them and try to include that so that they will be happy with the accuracy of the statement of accounts that they receive.
Okay, can you give us an update on the investments of the GSIS? Can you tell us more about this initiative?
Well, I think we've announced in the past that we've made some radical changes to the investment portfolio of GSIS. One of the earliest that we took was the decision to redeem about 35 billion pesos that was initially deployed in international markets. That was done in the early second quarter of 2011. And that money, when it was redeemed, was reinvested primarily in our local markets, so local bond markets and local equity markets. So that's the first thing we did. We increased our exposure to our domestic markets.
And given the accomplishments that the new GSIS team has done in the past 2 years, what can your members look forward to in the future?
Well, a lot of the programs that we are going to be implementing in the next year, like the inauguration of our call center. For the past 3 or 4 months now, we have been training our call center operators with by having them stay in our front line and listen to our members as they come in with their issues and their concerns. So when they pick up a member on the call center, they'll be able to address the issues. That is something that we are hoping to inaugurate in sometime around July. We are working with both Houses of Congress on revisions to our charter, and one of the one of the major changes is the insertion into the charter of a Bill of Rights for our members, really to empower them. We're looking at designing more products and policies that meet their requirements. I mean, there's a complaint that the current insurance policy that we have is really more an insurance policy than a savings product. I think our members prefer having a greater component of their premium going into the savings portion. So we're looking at ways to tweak the balance so it is a bit more.
Si Pangulong Benigno S. Aquino dito sa gymnasium ng Government Service Insurance System para siya magbigay talumpati sa 75th anniversary celebration ng GSIS. At ilang sandali po ay sisimula na po ang programa.
To be led by the GSIS Chorale.
Bayang magiliw, pero sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dibdib mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyang ka lang magiting, sa manlulupi, di ka pasisihin. Sa dagat at bundok, sa simulan, sa langit mong baka, may dilagang tula at awit sa panglayong nilalaan. Ang isang ng matawag mo'y tagumpay na nabibigin. Ang bituing na taraw niya kailang amay di magdidinig. Lupa ng araw na wala magsimba, buhay ay langit sa piling mo. Aming ligaya na barangay mga api, ang mamatay lang dahil sa'yo.
Thank you very much. Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the 75th founding anniversary of the Government Service Insurance System. To start off our program, may we call on the President and General Manager of the GSIS, our beloved Mr. Robert G. Vergara, to give the welcome address.
His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, President of the Republic of the Philippines, Finance Secretary Cesar Purisima, members of Congress and the Cabinet, Trustee Mario J. Aguja, and the GSIS Board of Trustees, fellow workers in government, partners from the private sector, distinguished guests, good morning. In 1987, President Corazon Aquino graced the golden anniversary of the GSIS at our office in Arroceros, Manila. 25 years later, we are fortunate to be joined by her son, President Benigno S. Aquino III, in commemorating an equally historic event in the life of the pension fund, its diamond anniversary here in our head office in Pasay City. Every anniversary provides an opportunity to chart the future, but to know where our organization is headed, we need to know where we are now, and more importantly, where we have been. Having witnessed GSIS's remarkable development from its humble beginnings to what it is today, the largest government financial institution, we are honored to be a part of this organization's history, even as we are humbled by the challenges that lie ahead. For us, the most urgent task is to improve our service to our stakeholders, to regain their trust and confidence, the loss of which has since cast a dark shadow over the pension fund. Thus, we embarked on a path of change. We revisited our policies and programs to make them more accessible, more responsive, more member-friendly. Every single measure that we now undertake, we evaluate from the perspective of service responsiveness and nothing else. This we are doing by actively engaging our members and pensioners through consultations and dialogues, and by forging partnerships with other agencies to further improve our efficiency. We recognize the need to manage our investments prudently, always balancing the requirement for return, the lifeblood of all pension funds, against our appetite for risk. Last year, we redeemed our entire international portfolio, bringing home nearly 30 billion pesos and reinvesting the funds into our domestic bond and equity markets. As a result, we benefit from the continuing outperformance of our country's capital markets. Looking ahead, we will diversify the sources of our income to achieve enhanced returns for the greater benefit of our members and pensioners. To symbolize these changes, we launched a campaign to rebrand the GSIS as a more dynamic pension institution with a dedicated, committed, and passionate workforce. We herald this campaign with a new logo and a slogan that sums up the core of our vision and mission: Maasahan ng Lingkod Bayan. We know that we have much more to do, but allow us to affirm with all humility and conviction that on our 75th year, GSIS is back on the right track. Mr. President, as you directed, the way forward is clear. We will walk the straight and narrow path. We will reclaim the founding spirit of our institution, that above all else, it is our members and pensioners who matter. This is our commitment. Thank you, and happy anniversary to everyone.
Thank you very much, PGM Robert G. Vergara. The Chairman of the Board of Trustees, Daniel Lacson Jr., will not be able to make it in today's momentous occasion. On his behalf, Trustee Mario J. Agua will deliver the inspirational message.
His Excellency Benigno S. Aquino III, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Feliciano Belmonte Jr., welcome home, sir. Finance Secretary Cesar Purisima, members of the Cabinet, our PGM Robert Vergara, and colleagues in the Board of Trustees, fellow workers in government, distinguished guests, good morning. Your Excellency, when you appointed me, your public instruction for me to look into the state of GSIS because of the numerous complaints that you have received about it. On my 5th day in office, these complaints were confirmed At around 1 p.m., I was informed by one of our executives that rallyists were converging outside the building, composed of no less than Congressman Tino and his group of concerned teachers. Congressman Tino is with us. He added that security had already been alerted to prevent them from entering the premises. This was the practice in the past. And so I asked, why don't we let them come in so that we can